Cavaliers, and welcome to the 9th edition of Cav Media. Earth Day was last Saturday, and on campus, JCCC had donation stations set up where you could donate different items, including worn-out jeans or craft or office supplies. The Student Basic Needs Center is in need of different items for student wellness, including cereals, spices, and body wash. Last week, we also had a headline award winner, Jay Center, talk on the state of media today and tips for college students going into media.
The fact is, the things you see taking up the most oxygen in national media, on cable news, essentially, they don't always have a lot of direct impact on most people's day-to-day lives. And if you spend any amount of time consuming that kind of coverage, you're probably familiar with the fact that you're going to have a visceral emotional reaction one way or another. You're probably not going to be happy exactly, but you're going to feel something. And however you're feeling emotionally, at the end of seeing a story like that, you're probably going to be sitting there with the knowledge that you have very, very little agency to change the course of whatever topic it is they're describing. It keeps piling up. You know that the second you turn on that TV or turn on your computer again, some new terrible thing has just happened that they are going to be shoving in your face. And it's like a fire hose. You can't keep up with it. Does that sound like something you'd actually want to pay for? So probably not, which is why I don't think it's all that surprising. But so since COVID-19 came out, researchers have found this really, really massive wave of news avoidance. So people are actively going out of their way not to consume news. They do not want to turn on the TV. They do not want to look at the apps on their browser. So the top reasons people give for avoiding the news is that there's too much politics in COVID. It has a negative effect on their mood. They're worn out by all of it. So our reader-first approach basically says, we are going to put the reader at the center of all of our coverage decisions. That we are covering the issues that matter to the people in our community, the things that people tell us that they want to read about, and we are covering that in lieu of what the political parties or power brokers or other journalists, frankly, are paying attention to. If I were a college student right now, what advice would I give myself? I mean, I learn to write, right? No matter what you end up doing, yeah. Being able to express yourself clearly in the written word is a skill that has so many ancillary benefits. It teaches you to think logically and clearly, and to reason and to organize. So, don't use ChatGPT. Do the assignment. Actually, write it out. That is a muscle that once you have built, will serve you years and years and years down the road.
Did you know that a majority of teachers at JCCC are adjunct faculty? We moved to Ryan Stovall for more.
Over half of college instructors in the United States are part-time or adjunct faculty. Does this benefit our students in our colleges? We sent Isaac Brissett to Johnson County Community College to find out more.
Thank you, Ryan. We're here at JCCC outside of the Student Center. Many students don't know the benefits of adjunct professors and what they can bring to the table. We sat down with 2 professors and 1 student to find out some of the benefits. The first professor we sat down with was Ben Mesner, an adjunct professor of 10 years at JCCC. We asked him how he thinks adjuncts benefit students.
I think that adjunct professors bring to the classroom a lot of real-world experience, and I think that what that does for the students is, instead of it just being intellectual, it makes the training more tangible, and it gets them prepared for going out and working.
We also asked Mr. Mesner what work he does outside of teaching.
So, no, my main profession is working at Sports Radio 810. I run our radio production department and video production department, and so most of our podcasting and all sorts of video stuff that we're expanding into.
While sitting down with Mr. Mesner, we asked if adjunct professors need certain experience in their fields.
Absolutely. So Johnson County Community College has a rule that every adjunct professor has to be no more than 5 years removed from working in the field that they're teaching.
We also asked if adjunct professors are provided a similar job security to full-time professors.
So I think Johnson County Community College really values the adjunct professors, and they've really put an emphasis on it, and they do treat us very well. Now, it's not a full-time, job with benefits because I'm not working full-time, but as with all the adjunct professors, I have a full-time job working in the field, so that's not as big of a concern.
After our interview with Mr. Mesner, we sat down with student Jatina Johnson and asked if she thinks adjunct professors are important to programs.
Oh, absolutely. Part of education is networking and connecting to people in the real world. So the professor that we have for Introduction to Podcasting is an expert in this field. He's already doing this. He's been in broadcasting for a long time. So if you want to have someone that has relevant experience, that's a great addition to have.
For our last interview, we sat down with Professor Borklin, who had this to say about adjunct professors.
I think adjunct professors can provide a very unique opportunity for students because a lot of times you're getting professors who are working in the industry. And so maybe they decide they want to come and teach a class or two. So you're getting like this firsthand knowledge, and it's pretty fresh too because they're right there and they're doing it.
Adjunct professors here at JCCC seem to bring lots of benefits to the students. With real-world experience and valuable insight into their fields, they create unique opportunities for the students who engage with them. These opportunities help prepare students for the real-world experiences in their field. I'm Isaac Brissett, and thank you for watching.
The Model United Nations is a program that allows students to learn about global issues through cooperative effort. They recently participated in a competition representing JCCC. We moved to Kennison for more information.
On April 7th, JCCC's Model United Nations team left for New York City to represent Belgium at the National Model UN Conference. After spending months researching their country, writing position papers, and preparing speeches, JCCC's delegates competed with schools from around the world as they worked together to address real-world issues that affect the global community.
Model UN is basically the simulation of the real United Nations.
Students as a team represent countries at conferences. They take the time to study country positions on various global issues and then meet with other students to then simulate how the United Nations works.
Draft Resolution 1-2 has become Resolution 1-2. Congratulations.
And they will basically work on what's called resolutions. And those resolutions are documents upon which the United Nations develops and utilizes to resolve issues around the world. Particularly, they learn policy analysis, and they also learn key skills for future, for example, research skills, personality skills.
I've been part of Model United Nations for a little over a year now. I joined right before the St. Louis conference, and it has been a fantastic experience. I have become more aware of global issues, and then more aware of global issues from countries that have wildly different positions than our own, and learning to understand why they have those positions through country history is fascinating. And I've been able to take what I've learned from Model UN and apply it in real-world studies and just real-world life, which has been a lot of fun.
JCCC's student delegates worked long hours, attending committee sessions and drafting resolutions from early in the morning until late at night. But they still made time for fun, getting to explore some of the city's famous landmarks, and of course, enjoy some delicious food. At the end of the week, their efforts and hard work paid off as JCCC's Model United Nations team received the highest award a delegation can win, ranking this community college next to several prestigious four-year universities. Congratulations, delegates! I'm Kennison, and this is Cav Media.
As we head into the last week of class, remember to get some sleep, study, and stay strong. Have a wonderful weekend, Cavaliers.